Okay, so we are kind of in a hurry here. But let's just take a second to double check which things we are looking for and which things Anna is looking for. Because what, there are like 3 things total? We're going for the unicorn, or air quotes, or actually actual quotes, unicorn. Maybe it's not a real one after all. In the clearing in the palace gardens. Actually, have we read this? We have read this whole thing, right? Or at least maybe not the very latest of it. But Geralt and Anna Henrietta rushed like rabbits through the palace gardens. Ironically, at the time the gardens were the venue of a game of Hunt the Hare. Milton had been assigned the title role. The knight, having donned a bunny rabbit costume, sat hiding in the gardens, waiting to be found by the game's participants based on clues they could win by completing various challenges. Yet the Duchess and the Witcher could spare no time for such nonsense, and set out to win the clues by breaking the rules. Alright. So yeah, we have the unicorn in the clearing, and then we have the golden fish from the pond. And I remember she said something like, the fishermen are going to be like in their boats, you know, or on the dock, using fishing rods to try to fish the stuff out of the pond, but we're just going to actually dive directly in. I don't remember as well what the deal was with the quote-unquote unicorn. So, let's, let's take a quick look. Are they both showing up on our map here? They are. Okay, so at least in theory, it looks like the unicorn is closer, so perhaps we start off with that one, and then we go for the fish after that. And at least the setup for this did certainly strongly suggest that we were sort of timed for this, as to whether we are actually on the clock, and if we're too slow, Milton will die. That remains to be seen. But either way, we're gonna rush here. And I saw Anna went down this way, but or up that way. Okay, hold on. That's not good. Down here. Get out of the way, dude. Okay, come on. Run, Geralt, run! There is Anna. Okay, well, we're running faster than her, for whatever that's worth. And we're just gonna follow the path here that it says we ought to follow, and apparently right up here is where the unicorn is. Okay, so what is the deal with the unicorn? Because here it is. Yeah, it has something strapped to its forehead.
Perhaps an apple will work, or some sweets.
We would not be in this predicament, dear sister, were you still a virgin.
Do you
Whoa,
really wish to have
where did
this
that come
conversation
from?
again? Here and now?
Hush, or you'll spook the beast. We shall try the sweets.
Hey folks, gonna have to ruin your fun.
Sorry, guys.
Who's that?
Who's that foreigner, and what is he doing here? What? Hither. Easy does it. Oh, no. Alright, use Witcher senses to find a treat for the unicorn, you say. Petals count? I don't think extinguishing that matters much. So you say in this area. Ah, okay.
Birds won't eat bread either, except if it's stale.
Okay. Maybe not good enough.
Crouch likes carrots. The unicorn will too.
Nice. So you have a new quest item. Before you can use it, place in an appropriate inventory spot. Yeah, gotcha. We got it. Let's put it.
An outrage,
Oh no, we can't put it there. Can we replace the crossbow with it? No, we can't. Okay. Fine, we'll get rid of the glasses if you insist. Oh no, actually we can sell them on. Okay, that's good. Oh, we can't run when we have it out? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Run over to them first. No? Are you serious? It slows us down so much. We're coming eventually. One of these days. We got a new marker. Alright, fantastic. Hey, unicorn.
To a delicious crunchy carrot.
Has the quotes here as well. You know you want the carrot.
Easy.
Don't mind us as we just swipe that. Clue from the horn of the quote-unquote unicorn. Okay.
They're huge. Be better off on horseback.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say.
Move it.
We're riding the unicorn. It was meant to be.
Slower.
Okay, let's just double check where exactly he is. I mean, it's down. It's not that far away, Geralt. It's not that far away. I don't think. Come on, unicorn. Speed forward.
Should be easy to spot once I'm under.
Go, go.
Okay. Dismount. Thank you, unicorn. Let's save real quick. And let us dive under. I see something already.
Dive in the water.
You're not supposed to dive in the water! You dirty cheater! That is candy. That is toffee. I guess anything that's on their hook is probably not going to actually be the fish, right? It's just going to be their bait. Probably. Oh? But what do we have here? Oh! Excuse me.
Hey, wait. Stop. It's important.
One moment, we need to cheat. It's important, I swear.
King Cormorant, sire, accept this offering we bring. Prithee cast upon us your merciful eye, and bear before us its secrets.
As the moon is heavenly coursed up trace, in my domain I await that moment of grace, when a soul of good or ill repute brings me a gift, fitting tribute.
Hey, thanks. Talk to you later. I'll take that, thank you very much. Now the person's like crying, like, what? How dare you? Okay, let's take a second here to read the clue we got from the unicorn, and then presumably that will tell us where we need to use the key. That would be my guess. We also got the candy, and we got the toffee, for whatever that's worth. Let's see, it's this. End like a mouse with the head of a hard cheese. What? I mean, it's a riddle, obviously, but end like a mouse, head of hard cheese. Let's check our map, see if we get any indicators here. Meet the Duchess. Oh, right, she has one or two of the clues as well. Okay, so don't have the full picture just yet. It ruins the game! Alright, where did we leave the unicorn? Because it might not be a bad idea to, say, hop back on it right about now. To speed back. My guess is Bon Vivant over there, or whatever his name is not going to be terribly pleased with us. Might try to slow us down.
Women love tears.
Okay, there it is. Let's hop back on if you'll let us, you will. Nice. Alright, Duchess, we are on our way. Unicorn and all.
What is they call you?
Here she is.
If you please, Your Grace.
We do not, please. We act out of the highest necessity. All shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
Rules
I am the
schmools.
rules.
Oh, take that. I am the law. I mean, she is Duchess, so, like, you probably don't want to be going against her will.
Got a key and a clue.
I've another. Show me yours.
What? Okay.
Who wrote this
It's like, looked like she dropped
The
hers.
king
It's like,
had
what?
grown, hollowed out with ease, then end like a mouse with a head of hard cheese.
I begin like a groan. Pull it out with ease. End like a mouse, the head of hard keys. In a cave? I don't think so. I mean, at least at the moment, I do kind of have no idea. It doesn't sound like a cave. In like a groan. Hollowed out. I mean, hollowed out, I guess, is sort of cave-like. Then end like a mouse. Head of hard cheese. Palace pantry. Seems like the opposite with the pantry. You would start out full with cheese and then end being hollowed out as everyone eats all the supplies. Greenhouse. Grown, hollowed out. And like a mouse with a head of hard cheese. I mean, it seems kind of like this. Someplace that's very cramped. You know, it starts off out in the open-ish, or at least hollowed out, and then people file in and it gets very crammed. What's up? What's up, chat? How's it going? I don't really know the answer for this, but I'm gonna say he's someplace cramped, but I really don't know.
Is it about someplace really cramped, uncomfortable?
Because it mentions groans and a mouse? No,
False hints? Okay, maybe not.
Lead us astray. Look.
Is Anna just gonna bail us out here?
Hollow it out and fill it with ease. The letters, that is. We get green.
Ah, so greenhouse. Okay.
Starting with what
Clever.
ends in cheese. Why, it's greenhouse.
I was taking it a little too literally.
It sounds right to me.
There are several greenhouses in the gardens, but only one with a door that locks, and the key to it looks just like the one we found.
Okay.
Let's go.
She totally bailed us out. There was no way I was gonna get that. Are we too late? Getting experience point after experience point here. So we think Milton is in danger, of course, but some questions are, uh-oh. That doesn't look good. I think we were too late. Ooh. Ninja roll, Carols.
The butch?
Who is this person we're chasing?
What was that?
Oh man, he's like teleporting? He's got pretty huge claws. I mean, we did kind of know that. Oh man, hardcore parkour here. Geralt's been training for this. Are we actually, I was gonna say, are we actually running through? Or is this gonna be a cutscene? I felt like we were gonna end up chasing him. But what do we have here? We about to get ambushed? We're probably about to get ambushed, right? It's gonna pop up behind us, be like, boo.
I'm here.
Or not. Maybe exactly the opposite of that.
This belonged to you, maybe?
It did, but you may keep it.
What?
I'm a new one.
The
I
heck?
do not know you. I've done you no harm. Yet
not
first
exactly.
You butchered a Bruxer who was dear to me. Now you pursue me. Why?
You've killed 4 innocent people, at least.
And you? How many innocents have you cut down?
Hey, that was not the topic of this conversation, okay? You can't just switch the topic like that. That's not fair. No, I mean, it's, you know, you raise an interesting point. There's some question as to, as a Witcher, obviously we do kill a lot of monsters, but some humans as well. And I mean, most of the time we would consider Bruxa a monster, yes, but he's saying, that Bruxa was near and dear to my heart. How dare you slay it? So, you know, are we a cold-blooded killer? To a certain extent, he's not wrong. But I am kind of curious. This is a very sassy response, but I am kind of curious to see how this plays out.
Not here to talk about me.
Yet that is exactly what we are doing. So.
Oh, because you
who
changed the
sent
topic.
You after me? Who are they?
What do you mean, they? Duchess hired me. You've been murdering her subjects.
Is it as simple as that? I would ask you to convey to the Duchess that I've but one victim left, but you'll not get the chance.
I see. Whoa! Hey, buddy. We find you now? We are finding you. The Beast of Beauclair. Whoa, hold on just a second there. Slow down. Okay. So... let's see. I'm assuming our quest probably says, hey, fight the beast. Yeah. So admittedly, I kind of thought we were going to have... you know, sure, we would chase him down, yeah, but I imagined that this was going to be, like, the final boss. And so I'm a little surprised that we are already getting into a fight with him. I do wonder if this is actually going to be to the death, or if this will be, you know, we weaken him and then he's going to run away. But, does certainly look like this dude is a vampire. What if we check our bestiary? We get, the Beast of Beauclair. Eyewitnesses to gruesome monster attacks always have a hard time describing the creatures in question. The beasts move quickly and often attack at night, while the witnesses are terrified and primarily concerned with fleeing for their lives. As a result, witchers quite often have no inkling what creature they face until they find tracks or otherwise establish something for themselves. Such was the case with the beast tormenting Beauclair. Harold knew it was deadly, elusive, and fiendishly clever. Everything else he heard was clearly the product of imaginations fed by fear of a dangerous predator. Okay, well... no, it is under beast, not under vampire. I mean, the claws look very vampire-like to me. And its friend was a Bruxa, yes, but, no, it looks like we're gonna want to put on a beast oil, not a vampire oil. Surprised, but glad that we double-checked. I mean, his name is the Beast of Beauclair, right? But I thought that was largely just because people had no idea what type of opponent this was. And that actually means steel weapons, not silver. Which means we'll be using Iris rather than the Viper Venomous Sword. We won't have the poison, but we will have the nifty becoming more powerful, or at least charging up and then giving us the explosion partway through the fight, which we haven't had a lot of time to experiment with it. So it's kind of gimmicky, but I'm hoping that gimmickiness doesn't result in us dying, because it can deal damage. It will deal damage to us. Then in terms of other setup here for, say, potions, I'm imagining this guy's going to be a very difficult opponent. So I think we definitely do want to set some stuff up here. We did not refill our potions in between by meditating, so we don't have a succubus decoction, which has oftentimes been one of our go-tos for extended boss fights. But that will do us no good here. So, actually, did we get... hold on. I saw what type of enemy he was by going here, but do we... no, we don't know anything about what the Beast of Beauclair is vulnerable against, so that is unfortunate. Look at those claws. If you're not a vampire, then what the heck are you? So, what do we want if we cannot increase our damage over the course of the fight? It is night. I don't think it's storming out, but those are some of the things that one might consider when it comes to facing specific enemies with potions. Strong attacks consume all stamina, reduce the struck foe's vitality by 5% after the normal attack damages. Wait, what? If any stamina is available, strong attacks consume all of it and reduce the struck foe's vitality by 5% after their normal damage is calculated. Okay, so basically just consistently deal 5% damage by removing all of our stamina, which seems like that could be effective against big, strong enemies like bosses. Losing all our stamina is tough, but I wonder if that might even be worth giving a shot here. I don't know. That feels like that's too risky. It was under Beast because it was anonymous before? I wonder what the best recipe for success is here. I mean, like, if it were a vampire, then I'd say Black Blood. But at least it seems as though that's not the case. Don't know if it's like he would be a vampire if we knew more about him and then he'd get recategorized. But we'll act on the assumption that he is well and truly a beast. Let's not go with that. I think we want things that benefit most long-term. Reflecting damage back to the attacker. Maybe? It's kind of gimmicky, because that does, of course, involve us taking damage, which is something that we ideally wouldn't have happen to us, but it's probably going to end up happening, at least to a certain extent, at some points. Attack power versus specters, and then a bunch of resistances. You are not a specter. That much I'm fairly confident in saying. Resistance to vitality depleting critical effects. I mean, this seems like the kind of guy, well, with his humongous claws that would cause bleed on us, so possible that might be helpful. I think we go with this, though. Regenerating life from the damage we deal. I think that's similar to some of the other things we were looking at that can benefit us long-term, but it relies on us dealing damage, which is something that we want to do, rather than, you know, taking damage. Then we have one of our explosives is out, and the other one only has one remaining, and I do like the Northern Wind, the one that only has one remaining, so that is a bit of a problem that we don't have those back either. That might mean that we just don't go for a different explosive here, although also just hard when we don't know much about him. Like, there was the Bruxa that had the transformingness, at least with the disappearing, like, invisibility thing. So Moondust was effective there. And I don't know if this guy's gonna have some kind of similar abilities. Alternatively, Dimeridium to block magic and monsters' magic abilities. It can backfire on us if we're standing in it, which is going to happen at some point, but this guy looks like he has some pretty nifty skills, so maybe we throw that on, and as for whether we actually use it, that remains to be seen, but might be a good ace to have up our sleeves. Alright, I think we're ready. Ooh, hello. I'd like to ignite you, ideally, to just reduce your armor real quick. Okay. Whoa! Did you see that damage? Is this supposed to be a scripted loss? I do wonder. I mean, I was ready to just restart and say, well, my bad, but I don't know. What the heck was that?
You want to stay where you were. Regenerate.
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
I'll help myself.
That? How is that person not dead?
No, he's my friend.
Ooh, did you just rip out his heart? What the heck? What is happening? What is happening?
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
Oh, he's healing up.
You all right?
Wow.
All is well. All's in order.
You sure about that?
Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend.
That much is true.
At least in human
Heard a lot
terms.
about you. Have not seen you.
How is this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a certain castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one twisted my arm.
Yeah, whole lot of questions here. Whole lot of questions. Yeah, so remember that part where I said maybe this is not actually going to be us fighting this guy to the death because I thought that that was going to be the final boss? Yeah, not exactly the way I imagined the trajectory of that fight going, but I suppose the end result was still the same. Wow. It was possible to quote-unquote win, but the result was the same. Okay, yeah. Basically, I got greedy and wanted to ignite him to reduce his armor so we could deal more damage long-term, but then as I was waiting for Stamina to come back, because it had not, well, he attacked us, and oh my goodness, did he have a lot of damage. That was crazy. But, so, it really did look like that dude just ripped your heart out, and yet you were still able to regenerate for that? I mean, usually when you hear about people who can regenerate, there are some limitations, right? You know, it's like if you're really injured, yes, maybe you can slowly heal back, but there are some key components, like usually a person's head, a person's heart, two most important things, and if you lose either of those, then you might still be dead, you might not be able to regenerate out of that, but no, Regis just did not really seem to care. That took like 3 seconds for him to be fine.
Miraculous regeneration. How do you manage it?
I had help from the one you hunt.
Him?
What?
How? And what have you been doing all these years?
Not the time nor place for such stories. I suspect we'll get a chance to speak at ease and at length later. Now, however, we must deal with the reason that brought us both here.
Okay, yeah. So, it does seem like you and the killer know each other. Now, you're a vampire, and like I said, I suspected that that other guy was a vampire as well, although he was technically shown up under the beast category, but if you two know each other, I feel like, you know, that maybe that's like a vampire type of thing. Makes it a little bit more likely that that other dude is also a vampire. But, I don't know if we're going to get the chance to say both these things. So let's lead off with this one. I feel like this is more important. What's up, Harumi?
Local serial killer seems to obey.
We just got absolutely annihilated.
Talk him out of it. Convince him to stop murdering.
Why do you think I've come? It shall not be easy, as Dettlaff can be rather stubborn.
Dettlaff?
Though you must certainly recall
That his name?
neither do I surrender readily.
So that's his name. He's your friend?
You might call it that. Though Dettlaff is, how would you humans put it, more bestial than I am.
Okay.
But not to worry. I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one night since I got here. At least 3 others before I arrived.
For good
Yeah.
reason, I'm sure. Understand. Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
Okay. I mean, yeah, then again, killing is still a pretty bad thing to be doing. Killing relatively innocent people, even if you're killing to make some kind of point, which appears to be his thing. Let's see. What good reasons could he possibly have? That's kind of what I'm wondering. I mean, clearly he's trying to make some kind of point, what with the people that he's killing and the examples he's trying to make out of them by, you know, like humiliating them, you know, putting their corpses in strange positions and whatnot, but how can you be so sure? Don't care about his motivations? Yeah, somewhere, I'd say mostly this one. What? I mean, yes, I understand he has some reasons, but good reasons, or at least reasons that are good enough to justify killing people? That has to be a pretty darn high bar to feel like you are justified in killing someone.
So in your opinion, what are his reasons?
Precisely what I wish to find out. And then I will convince him of the error of his ways.
Okay.
Got a lot of faith in the guy.
Yeah, you do.
Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course.
Okay.
Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
I don't think we're
Blind
that old.
fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
Okay. Just saying, hold on, before you assume that Dettlaff is some horrendous monster, he did actually save a bunch of people centuries ago by destroying a monster. So why'd he kill that monster? Why'd he tell us? I mean, I think the point is pretty clear. He's trying to say this guy, Detloff, is not quite as bad as he may seem. Yes, he is killing people, which, like I said, pretty hard to justify that. But he has done some good, and you could, like Regis was just doing, make some comparisons there between Detloff and Geralt and other Witchers in general, and that Witchers are professional killers. I mean, they justify it by saying that they're killing dangerous monsters and sometimes bandits and whatnot, but there is some gray area there. Those bandits have families. So why did Detloff kill the monster, I think, in that case, is more so the question that I have. What was it that drove him to do good on this occasion?
Vampires rarely help humans. Must have had his own agenda, hunting the beast.
You err. He slew it for one reason alone. The monster killed a lad who once in the street had offered Detloff an apple, expecting nothing in return.
Terribly noble of him.
You do not have a monopoly on altruism, my friend. Vilgefortz melted my body. Detloff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice: to leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains. He chose the latter, regenerating me at no small expense in his own blood. Do you know what that means to a vampire? The gravity of the endeavor?
So he basically brought you back to life?
To a human. You owe him your life.
Much more than that. The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine. Which is why I know something ill is afoot.
Always had an overdeveloped sense of empathy.
Each vampire has a unique talent. One they hone over centuries. It's precisely what renders it so difficult to classify. Detloff's trump card is his herd instinct. His tribal propensity.
What do you mean?
In point of fact, he prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously, it can only mean something's upset him immensely.
Okay. I find that last part a little bit hard to follow. Basically saying that he likes to be very clearly the top dog in the vampire world. Wants to hang out with all the lesser vampires so he can be the cool dude with all the strong vampire powers while they're all like, oh, Detloff! Yeah, any idea what could have angered him?
Anything specific? Some set of things that'd be likely to set him off?
How should I say this? Detloff doesn't understand men, their world, its rules, its conventions. He's naive in a sense. He doesn't comprehend your games, knows not what it means to lie, deceive.
Okay.
Suggesting he's maladjusted and venting his rage.
I'm suggesting maladjustment can at times breed conflict. But is it the case this time? I cannot say, but intend to find out.
Okay. Either way, it still sounds like we gotta find this dude. And whether his motives are just or unjust, or why he's doing them, I mean, at the end of the day, gotta stop him from killing some people.
Gotta find him before something upsets him even more, and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well, we share a cause then, just like the old days.
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
All
I
in all,
suppose so?
Let us find him. By the time we do, I hope I'll have convinced you Detloff is no monster.
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
That much is true.
Hear that?
The posse. Knights must have tracked me here.
I'd prefer they not find me here. I've makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
And away Regis goes. Nifty trick. And we've heard a lot about Regis, dating all the way back to The Witcher 1, but even then had not seen him until just now.
Yet I fear we're late all the same. Pray, where is the beast?
It ran away.
About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work. Milton's murder cannot go unavenged.
Okay. Yeah. Also, technically, I suppose we didn't die, but purely for plot reasons, as you can see here, we are basically dead, and then Regis just stepped in front of us and took the killing blow for us. So I was interested. I was thinking we were just going to end up restarting that fight and actually, you know, giving it a better effort second go around, but I suppose we'll roll with it. Given how, well, Regis took the hit for us. And yeah, one thing that I was always wondering, purchasing brief? What is this? Toy inventory is a toy workshop. Tin soldiers, stuffed animals, baby dolls, grown-up dolls, building bricks, jigsaws, knight's outfit, full princess costumes, witch capes. One thing that I had wondered was, what was it that initially caused Geralt and Regis to be friendly with one another? Because I imagine they're, you know, they have an extended history with each other in the books, which I have not read, but I imagine that's sort of where everything started. And then obviously, like I said, we heard mention of their relationship in The Witcher 1, but never saw him then. Then didn't hear much about him in The Witcher 2, and then obviously here in The Witcher 3, this is our first time ever seeing him. But, I mean, he is a vampire, and as Geralt was basically saying, usually Witchers are hunting and killing vampires, not befriending them. What is this? Hold on. My beloved Clara, you have no idea how happy I am. The warehouse has been closed. How good it is to know each time we wish to embrace, no one shall stand in our way. Neither my father nor your mother shall never occur to them. We rendezvous in this shuttered warehouse. I already laugh at the thought of them clambering over the rooftops like before, or looking through the rushes by the river. Even now, writing these words, I feel how much I would like to see you. I hope it will be like yesterday. I cannot speak for you, but as for me, I would just as well we never set foot out of this, our warehouse, our wonderland. Longingly, your Alberts. Clara and Alberts. Do we know those names? Don't think so. Oh, now we're encumbered as well. Yeah, I think it's been a long time since we actually had the chance to sell some stuff, and we were encumbered a lot recently as well. Or at least somewhat encumbered recently. We're just barely over the limit, so if we drop this, it should hopefully be enough. Yeah. So I think that's everything in here, because we don't actually have anything quest-related in here anymore. I was imagining at first that, given how Geralt was like, get out of here before you mess with the evidence, then we were actually going to have some stuff to investigate here. But, no, it seems as though the primary thing that we're looking for is just meet back up with Regis, chat with him. Alright, and Palmerin is still here. Whatever that means. But I would like to stop off at town somewhere to get the chance to sell some things, just so we aren't constantly either encumbered or on the verge of becoming encumbered. And I'm thinking maybe we do that just before we reconvene with Regis. Because, I mean, we have started to accumulate actually a whole lot of side quests. One Witcher contract, but that's on the higher end level-wise of some things we see here. So, I think, in terms of how we want to balance out main quest versus side quests, we were saying we probably wanted to mainline the main quest for a little bit. But this might be a good time for some exploration. Okay, nice. Nice. Let's see, so at the moment, call Lengo. Is that a... Huh? I'm interested to see what that's all about, but okay. The palace we ran through / rode through with our horses previously. Similarly with the gardens, but didn't really have the time to actually explore that in full because we were in a rush. This is where Regis has set up shop in the cemetery. Then the tourney grounds, there was an armorer here and a blacksmith. We didn't have a chance to talk to any of these people, really. That was also largely us jumping from one cutscene to one cutscene, or one battle to one other battle. So I think any of those places are probably fair game. Let's try this place since it's just so close by.